We have a problem in the city, and this problem is resulting in deaths, both in the shelters and on the streets. In the homeless shelters, there is no independent oversight of the nonprofit service providers, and people are dying as a result of that. A gentleman, Ray Oliver, who was homeless and was in Anaheim Way, had been transitioned to the Salvation Army, yet he took his own life on Friday by jumping in front of a train. Can you even fathom how distraught this man must have been to do this? Where were the services in Anaheim Way to help him cope with his mental illness? They were non-existent. Let's all be honest here. Anaheim Way, built as fast as it was, simply acted and continues to act as a holding tank until the 2 permanent shelters could be opened. Services there were minimal. Paul Leon told me that himself. Harry took all the credit and even spent a night there. Kudos to you, Harry. But you'd impress me much more by spending a night there now, instead of when it was basically empty. You would see for yourself that it's dreadful. The conditions are deplorable. For God's sake, a cat was molested in Anaheim Way. Let me repeat that. A cat was molested in Anaheim Way. And you all have the gall to claim success with this. What happened as far as services being offered? Pretty much nothing as far as I can see, and from what I've heard from all the residents there. Everything sounds all rosy and wonderful from staff reports as they sit here. But I'd suggest you bring in a group of residents who are living there to get the true story. Go to the Arctic, where their people are dropped off less than a mile away from Anaheim Way. Dropped off and talk to the people about what they're experiencing there. Come to La Palma Park on Wednesdays at 4 to talk to people about why they'd rather spend their days in the park instead of at the shelter. All kinds of physical and mental ailments are going untreated. Where are the doctors who should be on staff 24 hours? Where are the mental health professionals who should be on duty 24 hours? After all, we pay millions into the Orange County Animal Shelter, and they have several full-time vets on duty 24 hours a day. But this city is known for treating the animals better than they treat people. Why have the shelter residents not been signed up at Chrysalis? Every single one of them who's able to work should have been provided that opportunity, yet they haven't. What is Chrysalis doing? How many people have they found employment for? And in what kinds of jobs? Because it seems mostly manual labor to me. You lease them space for $1 a year, and I don't recall any kind of update since they opened. Again, I say there needs to be an independent oversight committee of these shelters and providers such as Chrysalis. The service providers have to be held accountable. I don't know if you grasp the concept that you're responsible for people's lives by your actions. For every person who is not treated for their mental illness, the result can be death. Do we doubt that the treatment in the shelters resulted in Ray Oliver's death? No, we don't. Do we hold you responsible for his death? You bet we do. Let me remind you that you're responsible for this mess. Let me remind you that shelters are not housing. There is no permanent supportive housing component for any of these facilities that I see. Without housing, you are simply warehousing people.
Thank you, Jeanine.
So you are failing our homeless residents.